All right, what is up everybody? Back with another video. It has been quite a minute since I have made a video. It's been since mid-December, but I have been streaming some of my builds that I've done, and those have been seeming to be going pretty well. So I'm gonna try to get back into the swing of making videos, and I'm gonna start that with doing the Leviatán. So here it is, right here. This board was designed by Leviatán Designs and vendored by Canon Keys, and it is a very nice keyboard that is a plateless gasket mount board. This is the last board that I got in 2024, and I got it from the extra sale from Canon Keys, and it is a super nice board and definitely one of the best 60s in my collection. So, the Leviatán. This board is really, really nice. Price point, it sits around from the extra sale about $450. And right here I have a beige unit, which looks kind of like a cream colorish, and there were two color options from the extra sale, which was the beige and the gray. And now I can't say much about the gray unit, but the beige is actually kind of like texturized, like it's a little rougher, has a lot more texture than something like a Cerakote, which I only have one board that's Cerakoted, so you know, take my opinion with however many grains of salt you would like, but this is significantly more textured, and it actually does feel really nice. I think this is super high quality, and it does look really good. This board also features a nice hefty brass weight on the back. You can see it is just like an entire wedge in the side of the board, and it is super good looking. It just makes it feel thick. It just makes it feel nicer, and there's not too much going on the back of this other than a nice little Leviatán logo in the corner, but it looks super, super good. And normally I'm like, you know, I like having nice designs on the back and all of that, kind of like with the derivative or having a big name like the Lilith on the back, but sometimes just having a clean back like this looks really, really good. Now, there were two runs of this board. There was the R0 unit, which I think was run specifically by Leviatán Designs, and then there was the R1, which is what I have right here, that was ran by Canon Keys. Now, there were a few differences. One, the feet are not circles on this one. There's tiny little rectangular feet, which honestly kind of suck. I'm just gonna admit it. They're not good. In fact, when I was putting this board together, one of the feet, actually, the piece of adhesive came off the rubber, and I actually had to super glue it to the board. Luckily, did a pretty good job super gluing it, and you have no idea that it was super glued on here. So that's nice, but it's kind of annoying that I even had to do that. And they don't give you any extra feet either, which is kind of annoying, but I mean, is what it is. The board, you know, it looks pretty good. Aesthetically, there's not much else that's different. I will say, though, the inside is very different. So, the original Leviatán was built or designed around only being a plateless gasket mount keyboard, and that's how I have it built here. That's how it's supposed to be built. However, whenever they did the collaboration with Canon Keys added plate support, and they added top mount, which I don't think is the best option. I haven't tried top mount because just about every regular person is going to build this plateless. That's how I built mine, and it sounds extremely good. And I built mine with Cherry MX Blacks, specifically the MX2A Blacks, because I haven't tried those yet, and they are really nice. I built them on plateless, and you know, they are super nice. Kind of got the idea just because I built my W1 plateless with cherry switches, so kind of wanted to do the same here, and it turned out amazing. Now, sound-wise, I will say there is a little bit of, I guess, hollowness with the plateless configuration. I'm assuming with top mount, you're probably getting even more case sound, but there still is a little bit of hollowness, but I guess you can call it coping all you want, but I honestly don't mind that. Just a smidge bit of case sound. I guess you could say it adds character, whatever floats your boat, but I mean, I think it's fine. The board sounds great, and that's what matters. And also flex-wise, it's not going to be anything extremely crazy like some other boards you may imagine. The only other plateless boards I've used were the plateless F2, the W1, which don't even have that much flex to begin with, just because of how their mounting style is designed, and the QK75, which was already designed to be super flexy, and it was like a waterbed. So I've kind of tried each polar opposite side. This kind of sits, I guess you could say, in the middle. It has some flex in it, but it's not going to be super overwhelming. It does lean a little bit more towards stiffer for plateless boards, but it still sounds absolutely amazing, and it feels good too. It has a little bit of give. But yeah, that's what I got for the board. You know, pretty solid. I mean, this is just a super clean board, and there's not really too many things wrong with it. But I'm going to go ahead and get to the sound, because that's kind of what I was talking about. But I have MX2A blacks on a plateless PCB. So yeah, that is how that sounds. And you know, gasket or plateless gasket mount is definitely the way to go for this board. Sounds super clacky. I really like how it sounds. And also, this is my first time using Wuche Studios keycaps. I got Wuche Studios Cafe here, and it looks super good on this board. It is a great match. I've always wanted to have kind of like a creamy beige color board. You know, it's just the board that I kind of, or the color that I really needed, just because I kind of have everything else. I have like silvers, polycarbonate cases, grays, a freaking glass board, reds, all of that stuff. And, you know, something like a creamy beige kind of color was just something I wanted to add to my collection. But yeah, this board is honestly amazing. And how does it rank up to other boards in my collection? So I'm gonna kind of like start out with the top 3 boards in my collection are my Julie 60, my F260, and my Even Echo. And those 3 kind of like sit kind of high above the rest. After that, I'd say probably my F1s and my Lilith, kind of like in that next tier. This sits in that same tier, I'd say. I don't think it's as good as the top 3 boards in my collection, but it is really high up there. I think this is just about the same level as the F1 for me. I really, really like this board. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Leviatán did a great job designing this, and it just looks super clean. And for a 60%, it weighs 5 pounds 2 ounces, which is really heavy for a 60%. Typically you don't see them that heavy just because it's a small form factor, and it's kind of hard to get that much weight out of such a tiny form factor, but they were able to do it here. It's really hefty, and it looks super nice. It's very, very clean. And out of all the 60% that you can get in stock right now, this is the way to go, because I think there are still a few units left that you can get. And if you are interested in this board, I would highly suggest looking into getting this board, just because plateless 60%, it's just such a good combo. Just throw cherry switches on this and it's going to sound super, super good. I would highly recommend it. And as for other boards that I've talked about on this channel, I do think this is better than the Derivative. I think this is also better than the Moment. I think this is just a really, really nice board that if you have the opportunity to get one, you should definitely jump on it. And yeah, that's kind of all I got for this board. I don't really have too much to say about it, but it is such a nice board. It's just very clean, very well designed, and it's plateless. I mean, it's kind of just everything that I like in a 60%. There's a few things I would change, but other than that, this is just one of the best boards that I own in my collection. Probably my 4th best 60% that I own, which is saying something because I own a lot of nice 60%. But that is all I got to say about this board. Super nice. Go check it out in the description, and make sure to check out my Discord server in the description as well. You know, it's pretty active. We do talk in there a lot, so maybe you could talk about keyboards there. It'd be pretty fun to see people hop in there. But yeah, that's all I got. And yeah, make sure to check out this board if you're interested in it. Anyways, that's all I got. Adios.